This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's nearly 2 a.m. here in the UK, so what we're going to do is we're going to rattle through a quick video here. We're going to take a look. We're going to go back to Australia now. We've got a week, 2 or 3 weeks till the next classic, the Irish. We've got the Irish Oaks coming up, the Irish Derby, sorry, and we've got the French Oaks soon, and then Royal Ascot. Uh, it's given me an opportunity, I think, to try and take a look at a couple of horses that I've been trying to get on the channel for a while. Just haven't had the time. The first one is arguably you're all quite unlucky here not to have had a decent win on this one already, Shinzo, because it actually was identified when it won the Pogo Stakes in the same week as the Cheltenham Festival, the 11th. It ran on the Saturday. The Cheltenham Festival, our busiest time of the week. Myself and Steve Allpress do double handful that week, which is a lot of work for both of us. It won on the 11th, a Pago, the Group 3, and then they had the audacity to turn it out the week the Cheltenham Festival finished. The Gold Cup was on the Friday. They turned this horse out the Friday night, Saturday morning in the £5 million Group 1 Golden Slipper in Australia overnight. The horse is called Shinzo, and it was the winner of the Golden Slipper that day. Wasn't surprised at all. Ever since the horse has made its debut, it has raced exclusively in Pattern Company. It has never raced outside of Group 3, lower than Group 3 Company in its life. And this is the time to catch these Aussie 2-year-olds, December, January time. And I managed to catch 3, but we've got another couple here that we've caught later on in the season. Shinzo is one, definitely. The Coolmore-owned Shinzo, trained by Chris Waller, sired by Snitzel, and out of a dam called Samaretti. People will see that Shinzo is from family dam line 1-0, which is quite an interesting line, really. This horse is very unlucky. I looked at it on the legacy site. I'll show you it in a minute. But first, there is a couple of horses that are quite closely related to this horse that we can take a look at now and I can bang on about a bit. One of them is Exhilarate. This filly was one of the first. I started following Aussie racing in 2019, really, properly. Always been aware of it, but got sick of backing geldings over 3 miles at Hexham. And people need some good horses during the winter, some well-bred flat horses during the winter. Or else all they'll do all summer, all winter, is watch bad horses. And those habits can go over into the flat season. And it'll turn and people won't recognise a good flat horse with a good flat pedigree when they see one. So it's always good to try and diversify, I think. This filly Exhilarates gave me no end of runs, really. Godolphin had this one. You'll see there that it won the Quisette Stakes. It's won Group 3 races, listed races. It's also taken out the Magic Millions race, which doesn't necessarily harm the horse's prize money. The horse is very consistent horse. Winning 6 of 24 races. It was 15 of 24 starts. It was in the first 3. And it earned just over 2.4 million Australian dollars. This one was by Snitzel as well, you see. So this one is a full brother. Shinzo is a full brother to this. I think it's fair to say that this one is better, has proved already that it is better than Exhilarates was in 24 starts. And this Colt's only had 5. What they've done with it, really, they could have done after the slipper. They could have ran this horse into the ground, I think either the horse has had problems I've not been aware of, which is entirely possible. I'm totally on the outside of this. I try to read as little of the controlled racing press as possible. Chances are the only way I would find out if this horse was injured is if I happen to be listening to Tab Touch and they mentioned it or something. Unless Chris Waller knocked on my door and told me himself, I might not find out. But it hasn't raced since the slipper. The slipper was back in March. So that would indicate to me this horse is being primed for a 3-year-old campaign. Whether they see it as an Everest horse, a Giga Kick type horse, 6, 7 furlongs horse, maybe even 5 furlongs, time will tell. But I am hoping they see it as some sort of Guineas horse, Grade 1, over a mile, rather than Australian racing is fascinating. There's a lot of these races. They're not pattern races, but they're worth 10 times more than the pattern races are. Races like the Everest and other races like that, the Golden Eagle that Colette won. So these owner breeders, what are they more interested in? Are they more interested in winning the money? Or are they more interested in winning the pattern races? Ideally, they'd be greedy and do both, like Colette did. But we'll see. This horse is already a Grade 1 slipper winner. The dam of it, Sam already, very well, very good form herself. People take a look at Sam already. They will see that she won 6 out of her 13 starts, placed twice, and won just under $1.7 million. Roll of honour again, as long as your arm. She slipper second, whereas Shinzo won it. The dam was actually second in the race. And again, you look at where they've been running her. Sam already was the champion female sprinter in Australia. So is Shinzo a sprinter? Or is he? Are they going to stretch him out to a mile? I hope they do. Be very interesting to see how they campaign this horse, Shinzo. Before we take a look at some of these other horses I've lined up on the Legacy site, we'll just take a look at a few other dams and see what we can ascertain from them, which isn't really a lot, to be honest. The second dam, Samar, won 2 out of 15 starts and 73,000 Australian dollars. You did say they will tell us that she won over 7 furlongs, which is 1,400 metres. So we're getting out to roughly where we want to be. Nice choice. The third dam, unplaced. Doesn't say in how many races, unfortunately. Sent to Australia in 1989, a Gainsborough horse, which is Sheikh Mohammed's brother, the oldest one, Maktoum Al Maktoum. The fourth dam was Dubai Spring. Dubai Spring won once out of 7 starts, placed twice, just under $2,000 in the UK in the 80s. Nothing there really of any pattern quality as in the shed. It was raced in England and sent to Australia. And we'll take another look at another dam in the 70s. Fleet Empress, foaled in 1970, won 2 out of 8 starts and $8,000 in the US. Again, you see, I'm more going this on purely exhilarates, really. This horse was picked up because I'd followed exhilarates in the past. It's how I work, If I follow one horse, one dam, I will, and it does well for me. I consider it to have done well. Then I will follow. I'll follow a few more, and that's pretty much how we got onto this one, Shinzo. Well, the first 5 dams don't really fill us with much confidence. Obviously, we've got Samaretti and Exhilarates. The immediate pedigree of the horse is very good. So we headed to 1-0 to see where we could fit it in, and it took me a while to find it. I had to go all the way back to a horse foaled in 1914. These 2 horses here, Problem and Friar's Cars. You'll see that I think they're the 8th and the 9th dam of this horse. There they are. Friar's Cars is the 8th dam, and Problem is the 9th dam. Anchors Ahead is the 8th dam. We did find that one as well. Anchors Ahead is there. So we're not entirely far off where we would need to be, really. We went to Honour Bound after that, and then Countess Fleet. There's Honour Bound, the next dam. Then we fall off a bit then. Countess Fleet. No sign of her on this site. It is very closely related to a Guineas winner, though. The French Guineas winner would be the closest relative of this horse that we found, Elusive Wave. Winner, excuse me, winner of 6 of 14 starts, over 500,000 euros. I presume that is that sign. Winner of the French Guineas, the French 1,000 guineas. Oh no, French Guineas 2,000 guineas. Oh, it's a mare. Sorry, my mistake. And it is a, there you go, you see, on the French 1,000 guineas, also fourth in the Coronation Stakes. Second in the Marcel Boussac at 2 as well. You know, very good filly this was. I don't know what it's bred in Japan. I never looked at the progeny because I thought I mistakenly thought it was a colt. And straight away we could be in business here, you see, with this £128 million Japanese horse. There we are. The horse is still going round. It's won plenty of listed races in Japan, which is a very high level of racing. Not many group races in Japan. You know, so she's bred this one quite nicely. Admire Virgo. Don't know much about it, but if you follow Japanese racing, I wouldn't put you off that. That'll win a group race. That will. I will say. You know, who knows whether I'll be right or not. But I will say that. I wonder. Elusive Wavy, like I said, would be the closest relative to this horse, Shinzo. Well, plenty of others as well. For as the further we went back, really, the more we found. These two were quite close in Germany. Sylvester Lady won 2 out of 6 starts, 281,000 Deutschmarks. Won the German Oaks. And according to that, one of her colts went for $5.7 million. People can't complain about that. Cabrada as well, another good horse in Germany. Winner of 7 of her 12 starts, 422,000 euros. German 1,000 guineas winner, second in the German Oaks. Very nice filly, Cabrada. You see the pattern following. A lot of these seem to be fillies at the moment, don't they? Rachel Alexandra. We can't really go much wrong, really. How people will be wondering how closely is Shinzo related to Rachel Alexandra. Speedboat is the 10th dam of Rachel Alexandra. And Friar's Cars is the 11th dam. So it's more closely related to Shinzo than it is to Rachel Alexandra. But it's on the same line. Close enough for me these days, this is, when it comes to horse racing. The way I look at horses is to try and gauge the maximum ceiling of the horse. Shinzo is a Group 1 winner. I'm looking for it to be related to some bloody good horses, yeah? Sun and Snow is another one. Kentucky Oaks winner of 1975. We're getting a bit closer now with Speedboat being the 6th dam, which obviously 5th dam, so which means that Friar's Cars is the 6th dam of Sun and Snow. Again, good filly. Kentucky Oaks winning filly. Hail to All is actually a colt. You know, very nice horse. Belmont winner of 1965. You see, Friar's Cars, the 5th dam of this horse. Now, so we're getting a little bit closer. The more we go back, you see, this horse was decent. The pedigree was a lot better in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s than it is now. But that's just down to the incompetence of modern breeders. No other reason. You know, Cornwall know what they're doing, and they've got this, haven't they? They've got this horse Shinzo back to the best of this line. I mean, the horse has won the Golden Slipper, hasn't it? You know, Hail to All, nice colt. Level Best is another one. Another mare, winner of 12 of 28 races. That also won the Kentucky Oaks. And that won the Coaching Club American Oaks, sorry. At 3. You're the champion US 2-year-old filly of 1940. The War Horse. People have seen the film War Horse and how tough those horses are. Well, this is one of them. You know, some fought battles and others raced at the same time. Now, this was a very nice filly at the time. Sword Dancer, well, very underrated horse, I think, through history. Winner of 15 of 39 starts. just under $830,000. First in the Belmont, Jockey Club Gold Cup, Met Handicap, Monmouth, Woodward, Travers. Now the horse won some races. Second in the Kentucky Derby in the Preakness. Not far off a classic winner, really. Champion 3-year-old colt of 1959. Horse of the year as well. In 1970, leased to a group of French breeders. Can that sound any more dubious than the way they've written that? But a very good horse Sword Dancer was in his day, and I think quite influential as well. People want to know Sword Dancer. You see, Fires Cars is the fourth dam of Sword Dancer. Plenty of good horses in this section where we're at. All the way back to Problem, Fires Cars and Speedboat. Yeah, we've just looked at the classic winners. What can you say? I think this horse is decent, Shinzo. Always have done since the time, mainly due to the connections and mainly due to how it's been campaigned. And, I'm disappointed the horse isn't 4 out of 4, really. Been beaten by some good horses. Corniche, the Godolphin horse. The first day, I think it was quite unlucky. It just was learning as the race went on. Corniche was a good horse, Godolphin horse. It did well. That's a good run. And then since it's won, the horse just hasn't looked back. And we'll take a look at the Golden Slipper now, and then we'll think about ending this video, I think.
Slipper, stand by for a start. Cylinder is the favourite, and they're ready. And the gates are back. They're off, and Learning to Fly's missed the kick. She's second last. And jumping very swiftly, Arkansas Kid wide out with Platinum Jubilee. Exploring's right on the scene. Steel City settles in fourth, and Cylinder pushing through on the rails. Blanc de Blanc's pretty handy to the leading division, followed then by Don Corleone. Shinzo's whipping up on the rails. They're followed after 2 lengths to Empire of Japan, getting up on the inside of Little Bros. King's Gambit in a 3-wide position. Further back to Barber, Learning to Fly, third last from Lazargo. And Militarized is last of all. Exploring heads them up down the side from Arkansas Kid. Back in the field, Lazargo being eased out of the race. Steel City in third. Cylinder fourth on the rails from Platinum Jubilee. Then came Blanc de Blanc, Shinzo on the rails as they straighten up. And at big odds, Exploring shows the way. But on the outside, Arkansas Kid. Cylinder roos up on the inside. Hard on the inside. Shinzo starting to run on. Cylinder takes the lead of the 200 from Shinzo giving chase. Cylinder, Shinzo, and right down the outside with a big run late is MP coming home hard, King's Gambit, but Shinzo and Ryan Moore have drawn clear to win the Golden Slipper. Shinzo beats Cylinder, King's Gambit third, Don Corleone fourth, and Empire Japan further back to Arkansas Kid from Little Bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. They flew Ryan Moore over to ride it that day. And what did that tell you? What does that tell you how high the Coolmore hierarchy in Europe think of this horse? Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's not what people say, it's what people do. And that is, 9, what is it? What do people say? 9/10 of communication is not verbal. I mean, there's been some classic examples here. I think when looking at this horse, they've not said how highly they rate it. But to me, it's clear. So I'm going to leave this video here now. Shinzo, fascinating contender. Heading into the next Australia. He might run again this season. I think there's one more Group 1 race left, the JJ Atkins Plate for 2-year-olds. Over a mile. I'd love to see him running that. Let's not get too excited. 2:23 this morning, in the morning. But hopefully, it's 2-year-old, 3-year-old campaign. For the season starts August the 1st. In Australia, they're on a different breeding timeline to us. In the UK, we go from January to December, and they go from July to August. So July the 31st and August the 1st is a totally different season. And then it really kicks in a couple of weeks after that as well. Fascinating times ahead. In Australia, I just hope that I can find enough nice horses to keep us going until the jumps kick in. But that's up to me really to work out. You guys, you don't need to worry about that. You just need to keep an eye on the National Hunt Pro horses in the meantime. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a couple of steers at the end of it. One of them will be to allow people who have watched this video and are not subscribed to the channel, just to give them an opportunity to subscribe, really. Free to do that. And also I'll stick a list to the Australian horses that we've already identified this year. Spoiler alert, didn't really do that well. Cafe Millennium and the other one, Zulfikar, weren't really up to the mark, unfortunately. We ran him a lot of times. Cafe Millennium never has replicated what he did. And what was the other one? I can't remember. There was 3. The other one was, Learning to Fly. Did a great job and then missed the break at the end. In the race, Shinzo won. Learning to Fly played a massive part in our 2-year-old season. So we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the channel in the way you do. It's very much appreciated. But for now, I will say goodbye to you all. Take care, everybody, and look after each other.